Hi everyone, I'm Peggy Rometo and this is the Weekly Wake Up. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's slow down, let's bring our energy inward. And if you don't know what that means, it just means like take a breath, right? Close your eyes, bring your focus inward. And if it helps you to focus, you can always place your hand on your heart and put your imagination behind your hand. That helps to kind of train the mind to go into the heart, right? So it's all about focus. And as we take our intention and we bring it into a certain concentration, it allows us then to kind of control our mind, kind of control the energy around us. And as we get in a habit then of breathing up and down our body, it helps us to let go. It helps us to learn to relax. And that process of being able to relax, we can then shift to becoming curious. And you can practice this in everyday life, right? Like just being able to have a conversation with somebody and all of a sudden get curious. And when you kind of get curious about where somebody's at or what's going on with them, it opens the door for your intuition. It opens the door for new information to show up, even if it's just in the form of asking another question, right? But it's a way for us to get to learn about new information or things that maybe we weren't privy to before asking that question. So your intuition is no different. By asking those questions with curiosity, the universe can bring the answers to us. And sometimes if we can't get them through meditation, it will just show up in our surrounding environment. Just like, oh, okay, I was thinking about this and asked about it. And then here, an hour later, my friend called me about it, or I read an article, or I saw a TV ad, right? So there's a lot of different ways in which the universe speaks to us. So this is just one way that helps us to get in the practice of starting to pay attention that we're not alone. And there's information around us to support us. But the more specific we ask, the more specific the answers come in. All right, so that's why we want to ask, right? I know in the beginning when I was doing this 20 years ago, I used to think, well, God should know what I want. Why do I have to ask? Why do I have to be proactive? It's because of that little free will piece that we have, right? The part of ourselves that allows us to be co-creative agents. And so if we're not co-creating, we're just at the effect of what's going on around us, which is why it's so important that we create. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. This is the projection I want to see in my life or in myself, right? And then that way God supports us in that co-creative energy, being able to awaken that spark of light inside of ourselves. So this is why we do this. This is why the weekly practice is so important for each of us to be able to get to know our capacity and our ability to co-create our lives. And so I hope you're practicing. I hope you're practicing every day and every moment of stopping and listening and paying attention, because it's just going to improve your quality of life. Not because I said so, but because it actually works. Just try it. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's go in. Take those 3 long breaths in, 3 long breaths out. Let go and see what's available for us this week. Let's go into that heart. Use that cleansing breath. Now use that imagination. Drop all the way down into the center of the earth, wherever that may be. Just trust wherever you stop. And then let's do those 3 cleansing breaths or clearing breath up through the body and to the top of the head, and then all the way back down. And then we'll open to see what's available. Okay, so this is great. So right away, I see this week provides stability. So if you've been working towards something or you've been trying to get someplace and you may feel like you've been in the middle of emotion or just, a lot of chaos, whatever, I see like a step coming up for you to step on, right? It's almost like you're in this lake or this sea, and then there a rock emerges for you to step on, and then another step and another step, and then you're on dry land, right? So the building blocks are here for us to be able to receive whatever it is that we're needing. And so we want to be specific with with our co-creation, right? We want to say, bring me this, or give me the insight, or show me which direction to take, and then let go. And in doing so, you're going to see a theme emerge, a place to step, a person to call, a book to read, a therapist to go to, a doctor to go to, right? Or a company to hire, or the right people will show up around you. Your creative community, whatever it is that you're seeking or needing for any area of your life. So I'm just seeing these little steps come up to meet us, to support us in being able to get what it is that we need, whatever the direction we're heading, whatever area of our life that we want. So these steps are emerging this week, and it feels like by the end of the week, you're on solid ground, like a great opportunity, like this is what I need, this is what I want. Now, with that, a lot of times when we get, have you ever noticed that when something really good happens, like right next to it, something really bad can happen? So it's that kind of like duality at the end of the week that can happen, and especially towards next week where there's this, like you've got this good thing that happens and then all of a sudden this like, whoa, why do I have to deal with this kind of energy? So and it may not be you, but it might be your partner, or it might be your kid, or it might be your best friend. So there is some at the end of the week and beginning of next week, a little more tumultuous energy, but we can avoid being caught into that drama when we slow down and we stop and we separate ourselves from it, even if it's happening to us. And the way we do that is we stop, take a breath, step back, ask for guidance, ask for support. Don't, get caught up in the chaos. Stop those automatic reactions, right? I studied Kabbalah for a really long time, and one of our teachers always used to say, pause with a pleasure, right? Like one of the best sayings ever, because it's like, whenever there's chaos around you, it's like, stop. Beautiful reframe of the mind, right? Pause with a pleasure. So that you're going to have lots of opportunities to do pause with a pleasure, towards the end of the week and the first part of next week. And just dealing with whatever's coming up for you. And, we are here to live life. We're not here to resist life. So allowing ourselves to feel whatever is coming up, or to be able to see whatever's coming up ahead of time, is a gift, right? Even if it's not good, even if it's sad, even if it's scary, whatever it is, just embrace it. Don't resist it. Take it in. And when you embrace it and you let it flow, it gives us the answers, right? So it gives us the antidote as well. So just know that if you've got something that's coming up that is scary for you, or nerve-wracking, or feeling anxious about, just, feel the feelings, allow the feelings to go through you, and just know that with that, there's this beautiful energy of security inside of it and safety inside of it. And I'm going to be okay. And I'm surrounded by love. So just know that whatever is coming up for you this week, just keep those memories and those thoughts. And can you guys feel that energy as I say that? Can you feel like the energy is coming up with this as I talk about it? And the way you might feel it, I can feel it all the way around my arms and my leg, almost like tingling or little vibrations. So if you stop a minute, you might be able to feel into that. The more that you start to learn to feel your own emotions, your own energy, the more you'll start to be able to feel around you. And then you'll start to be able to control it, and you'll be able to start to invite it in. So you now become the light in the dark room. You're now the person who's changing the energy field. You're now the one who's the creator of your own life and creating the shift in the room that needs to happen, or the shift in your life that needs to happen, through awareness, or through stillness, or through pausing, or through accepting, right? Or allowing, right? And even, even if things are brought to our attention that maybe are our fault, our mistake, our choices, don't beat yourself up. It's just like, okay, I got it. Okay, I see that, right? Having humility, being, having a beat down that comes sometimes by, oh, I wish I wouldn't have said that. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have thought that. Oh, I wish my actions would have been different. It's a great equalizer within ourselves to get us to stop and realize, I went too far, that wasn't cool, so we all have these moments. So for some of us, it might be around overspending. We may have spent too much. We may have not been paying attention to our bills or paying attention to our income, or we may have just made mistakes in relationships or friendships. So some of these things may be coming up for us later in the week. And some of them are unjust, right? Like sometimes people are upset with us and for no reason. It has nothing to do with us, but we're at the end of, we happen to be crossing their path that time of day when they're like, rah. So, what there is to always create that safe boundary, but then to what happened? What's going on for you? Move to concern as opposed to right? So when you move to concern, it really allows the other person to calm down, right? Because you're not feeding into their frenzy, right? So that pause, stop, move to compassion, concern, allows us to be able to, it's as much for us as it is for them. Because when we're caught up in somebody else's nonsense, immediately what happens is we're fueled with that entitlement and that anger and now we're projecting that. Now we're adding that fuel to the fire, which just makes a bigger mess. So the more that we can kind of retract our energy, pull it back and stop and say, wait, what's going on here? What happened? Are you okay? Instead of jumping in and going, why are you attacking me? What's going, I didn't do that. I didn't say that, right? How we can get into that energy. When we stop, relax, let go, it allows us to become now part of the solution as opposed to part of the problem. And they may or may not hear us, right? So a lot of times it's just what we call holding space, the space of love, just staying in that space, not taking it in, letting their emotions just kind of like see it as like their own force field, swirling around them. When you send love, love is your protection. Love is your compassion. Love does allow us to really feel safe in our own energy field. So as we move into this week, just be aware there's a lot of supports coming in for us. At the end of the week, there might be a little frenetic energy. It's just like sending it love. This is still the other things that are going on. There's still a big social week. They're just showing me a lot of social activities, a lot of social opportunities. And sometimes, right, when you're at a big party, some people can go too far in the party and then suddenly they lose control and the party's not fun anymore. So just be aware that towards the end of the week, there can be some of that sort of energy that can happen. Let's see what else is available for us this week. So we're also being asked to take committed action for our point of view, for our insights, for our projection, meaning where we want to go, and not allowing outside forces to kind of influence us or push us one way or the other, but to really learn how to navigate for ourselves. What is it that I want? What is it that I should be doing right now? Where should I be going? So we have this opportunity to have a lot of clarity and support and faith in ourselves. So there's a lot of information that's coming in. Now, for some of you, I can immediately feel in your solar plexus. That's located right underneath your rib cage. And so for some of you, I can feel this, like you're almost like you're holding your breath, and maybe you are holding your breath. But if you can feel that energy block, that's a lot of our personal power. So you want to be able to just kind of like slow down, exhale, breathe, expand the rib cage, let go of whatever fear is there for you. And just know that you're supported. And, you're never alone. You don't have to go into a meeting by yourself. You can, if you have a difficult meeting and you do have to physically go in by yourself, you've got divine support. Call on it. Send the angels in early. Say, hey, soften my boss up. I have to go. Or you've got to make a big sale and you're feeling a lot of pressure. Send it ahead of time. Send it to the people's home. Hey, if this is the good thing for them, please make it easy. Make the yes easy. Help me to say the right words and help this, deal to work in my favor, right? You can send angels in to support you in a way that's not manipulative, in a way that supports everybody. It just kind of takes the pressure off. So just know there's a lot of spiritual support for you this week, but you do have to ask. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that we need to know about this week coming up. Okay, so for some of you, praise is coming your way, and just how praise can be. It can go to your head, or you can take it in with a grain of salt. So the recommendation is to be respectful, thank the person for the praise that's coming at you, and then go back to work, because they're showing me that one day somebody can think you're the best thing, and the next day somebody is like you're at the bottom of their list, and you're like, what is going on here? So it's this diversity, this dark and light energy, the duality, and the intensity of that. So what there is to do is just stay in the flow, right? Not make the high mean something so great, and not make the low mean something so bad. So we want to do our best this week to stay in that neutral place of just being in the flow, just having the freedom that everything's good. Everything's fine. I've got this, because you can handle it. And it doesn't feel like it's such a low that like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. But it is something that is can be trying, or can take your attention off of the positive things. So we never want to do that, right? Because where you put your focus is what grows. So life happens, there are difficulties that come in, things that we have to deal with. You want to give it your attention, but you don't want to like sink into it or be a victim of it. And the way not to be a victim of it is to have the awareness around it with that, oh, pausing. Okay, so how do I handle this? What do I need to do? But always keeping your focus on where you want to go with the light, right? With the way you want to generate your life, the direction that you want to head. So it's just being able to manage the different energies, because you're going to see the duality of both this week, more so than other weeks, especially towards the end of the week and early next week. It just feels a little bit more intense, but nothing that you can't handle. All right, you guys. But I really feel like the majority of this week, because that other energy feels more at the tail end of next week and the first part of next. So I really feel like the energy here really is moving forward, really positive, and good things happening, really like solutions coming in, and new people that you're meeting that are going to support you in a solid, good way. So whether it's relationship or business or love or health, there are answers and support systems here that are going to be showing up this week. All right, you guys, so I'm going to leave it on that because that feels like a really good note to end on. So have an amazing week, everybody. Stay in the flow. Use your breath. Let go. Pause, smile, have fun. Trust yourself. Your instincts are right on, right when you do this work and you clear and you let go. Whatever comes in after that is part of the solution. Okay? So just remember that little tidbit. You'll be fine. Have a great week, everybody. I look forward to connecting with you again next week, and just really enjoy yourselves. Have a great day, everyone.